Nobody wants American troops on the ground there.
So we're introducing a resolution today, since the Senate resolution that says that if Russia or Belarus, or a proxy of Russia, explodes a nuclear device inside of Ukraine to
What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? Sorry for the long hiatus. Sorry about that. I had to mow the lawn, mow the grass, and I have a big property, and I also have some stuff going on in my personal life that I had to take care of. So I was just doing stuff related to that. So hey, K. Paul. How's it going, K. Paul? I hope you had a great weekend. Lorna, I hope you're doing well. FC Lumi, PFC Lumi. How's it going, PFC Lumi? Bishop, Jackie M. Smoking Swamp. How's everybody doing? It's just the last couple of days has just been absolutely insane. I just can't believe all the craziness that's been going on. PFC says I just subscribed. Thank you, PFC. I appreciate it. Yeah. So if you're new to my channel, I know I've picked up a few new subscribers over the weekend. What I primarily do on this channel, you can see if you want to know what I do, it's in the description in my about section. But basically, I cover prepping, survival, firearms, and a big portion is breaking news. So those are like the big things: prepping, survival, firearms, and breaking news. I do a lot of outdoor videos like hiking, hunting, fishing, traveling, things like that. I also mix that in there. Really, anything I want to do a video on, I'll do a video on it. I don't stick to just one thing. I even do fitness videos, working out, anything that I enjoy and I'm passionate about. That's what I do my videos on. So you're going to see a variety of content on this channel, not just one thing. I know a lot of people just focus on like one thing. Their whole channel is about like one thing. That's just not me. I do a variety of things here. So Jackie says we're all deeply affected by Graham and Blumenthal. That's funny. Yeah, it's like brainwashing. It is like brainwashing. Dark Winter. Yeah, Dark Winter is coming back soon. I'm definitely going to do some Dark Winter series, and I have a lot of cool stuff planned. So I've been thinking of some good ideas for that, so it's definitely coming. Jarber, how's it going, Jarber? I hope you're doing well. PTSD from watching too much Graham. Sorry about that. I wish I could have something more interesting. It's just, with the copyright the copyright rules on YouTube, it's like it's hard to find anything that you can play for people to watch. You know what I mean? It has to be like original. I can't just like put on a movie or something for you guys. So it's just hard to find. It's hard to find anything that wouldn't be copyrighted. Someone said Lee is live. I haven't checked out. I haven't seen what Lee is talking about. What's Lee talking about? How many episodes of Dark Winter? I'm gonna try to release a few more. I'm gonna try to release a few more episodes of Dark Winter. I'd like to get the second season done this summer, and then pick up season 3 in the fall and winter. Um, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I could play my Dark Winter videos. That's a great idea. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll definitely do that. That's a great idea. I didn't even think about that. I kind of wanted to stay on topic though because it was an emergency alert, so that's why I put Graham and stuff on there. But I could see how listening to them over and over it gets annoying. I know a lot of people just pop in and out. They'll pop in for a couple minutes and then leave, so that's why I put Lindsey Graham on there. Yeah, Russia might blow up the ZNPP. That's the big news. So let me just share some of the latest information that I have. Um, let me just share some of the latest. So we do know that Biden had a phone conversation with various world leaders. There was a conversation that took place today with Biden, Zelensky, and the president of Poland. Now, Poland is under a state of emergency, not a state of emergency. Their military is under a state of emergency. So the president of Poland, Andrzej Duda, he put the entire the entire Polish military on high alert, and the Polish prime minister also is concerned about some kind of a provocation coming from Belarus. So they're worried that something could happen with Belarus now that Wagner could be in Belarus now potentially. So there's something going on there. The latest I heard is that I don't know if they shut the border down with Belarus or they were considering shutting down the border. I heard something about that Poland was considering like shutting the border down because of the situation. Poland purchased $35 billion worth of gold recently, which is kind of interesting. That's a lot of gold to buy randomly out of the blue. Yeah, Dark Winter is a fictional series that I make for this channel. It's about me surviving a nuclear war, basically. So it's if you go into my videos and you go into playlists, you go down through my playlists and you'll see Dark Winter. It should be right there. And I already did an entire season, and I started on season 2, but I didn't get a chance to finish because of everything going on here and other stuff. Uh, so let me see if I can just try to get some updated information here. I can't believe how crazy this weekend was. I mean, it just absolutely insane. I mean, I think that the Earth stood still. I mean, that was the day the Earth stood still. I think everybody around the world was watching what was going on in Russia. I mean, people were on edge. Prigozhin was able to get the whole world to pay attention to him. It's pretty insane. So we have this E6 here. This is a nuclear war communications relay plane. There were some more emergency action messages after I left, so I'm going to get you guys an update on that. There were some more messages here. So the emergency action messages are still at an elevated level. We have some breaking news that apparently Russian agents threatened Prigozhin's family, and that could be one reason why Prigozhin, canceled the coup. That's the theory. I mean, we don't know 100% if that's true, but this is being reported by the UK Telegraph. Russian agents' threat to family made Prigozhin call off Moscow advance. So let's just read this. And I was actually producing a video compilation. I didn't get a chance to finish it because I went live today. But I was producing a video compilation of all of the events that transpired, like video clips. I clipped together like all the memorable moments from Prigozhin's ride to Moscow. I clipped together, and I'm gonna upload it probably tomorrow, because I think it's a historic moment. And I mean, who knows? Like, a lot of people think Prigozhin's like this bad guy, but I'm not saying he's a good guy or anything. But I mean, we just don't know what's in his mind, what he was thinking. I mean, uh, maybe he would be more moderate than Putin. I mean, he's just a businessman. He's not like driven by ideology like Putin is driven by ideology. Everything with Putin is all ideological, and the battle against the West. It's all about the battle against the West. I personally think Prigozhin would be better for Russia than Putin, even though Prigozhin has a bad track record of leading Wagner. I mean, he would probably still be better for Russia, in my opinion. He seems to be like more pragmatic and less ideological, you know. So let me read this to you. Russian intelligence services threatened to harm the families of Wagner leaders before Yevgeny Prigozhin called off his advance on Moscow, according to UK security sources. It has also been assessed that the mercenary force had only 8,000 fighters rather than the 25,000 claimed, and faced likely defeat in any attempt to take the Russian capital. Vladimir Putin will now try to assimilate Wagner Group soldiers into the Russian military and take out its former leaders, according to insights shared with The Telegraph. So what they're going to try to do is they want to break Wagner apart. They're going to try to get the former Wagner soldiers to join the Russian military, which they're not going to do because that's a downgrade. Just think about it this way. You're a private military contractor. Okay, you're a mercenary. Why would you join the regular army? I mean, you're making tons of money. You have better equipment. You have more interesting assignments. So you're gonna drop that to work for the Russian army. I mean, come on, the Russian army, they can't even afford to give their troops proper shoes, proper footwear. So I highly doubt that the Wagner troops are gonna join the Russian army. I think they're just gonna assimilate back into society temporarily until Prigozhin makes his next big stand, which I think is still in the works. I don't think we've seen the last of Prigozhin. That's my opinion. I don't think we've seen the last of him. I think this was just a tactical retreat. This was a tactical retreat. For whatever reason, he said it was because he didn't want to spill blood. Maybe he was, genuinely concerned about something serious happening, not just in Russia, but globally. And he just didn't want to have the responsibility for that, on his head. Maybe he thought that this would lead to nuclear war. I mean, you just don't know what somebody's thinking. There could be any reason, and we can just only speculate at this point. But I mean, there could be so many things going on in his head. But, the UK Telegraph is saying that he only had 8,000 fighters instead of the 25,000. So that's not a lot. 8,000 is not a lot. Although his fighters are like, one of his fighters is like 3 regular Russian soldiers. His fighters are better than the regular Russian army. They're basically like elite level soldiers. The people that he hires are battle hardened, and they have experience in conflicts. So they're not just some regular Russian army guys that have limited experience. So even with 8,000, he could do a lot. But for whatever reason, according to the Telegraph, they're saying that they were threatening his family. The analysis offers clues into the mystery of why Prigozhin, the Wagner Group leader, called off his mutinous march on Moscow on Saturday, just hours before reaching the capital. There remains speculation about what formal deal was struck, if any. The Kremlin said on Saturday that Prigozhin would head to Belarus in exchange for a pardon from the charges of treason. There has been no comment from Prigozhin over the suggestion. It also remains unclear if Sergei Shoigu, the Russian defense minister, is set to be demoted or fired. So what we're hearing is that there's going to be some kind of a meeting. Putin has called a meeting of the Ministry of Defense tomorrow. So there's going to be some kind of a meeting, and they might reorganize the Russian Ministry of Defense. We're also hearing that some new guy may be appointed. He may fire Shoigu. Shoigu may get fired, and they may put in someone else. That could be part of the deal. I mean, we just don't know. We'll have to wait and see tomorrow. We'll find out more information. But it's just a crazy situation, and I really don't think that this is the last we've seen of Prigozhin. There's just no way. There's no way that Prigozhin is just gonna spend the rest of his days in Belarus. I mean, the guy's a billionaire. I think he's a billionaire. He's worth a lot of money. He's not gonna spend his last days in Belarus. I mean, he could. It's possible, but I just don't see him doing that with the amount of resources he has, and I just can't see him. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna retire in Minsk. I mean, I just don't see that happening. I mean, who would want to retire in Minsk? No offense to Belarus, but that's like saying, yeah, I'm gonna go to North Korea and I'm gonna retire in North Korea. I mean, who wants to do that? Especially for a guy that has a lot of money and power and thousands of people that are willing to fight for him. I mean, he captivated a lot of people. A lot of Russian people were captivated by him. There's all kinds of videos of people cheering, and I have in that video, that compilation video I'm gonna upload. I mean, it's crazy the support that he got from Russians was crazy, and it breaks that whole myth that Putin gets 90% of the votes in Russia and everybody in Russia supports Putin. I don't think they do. I think it's more like 50-50, if not even more people now don't like Putin. They're just afraid to do anything about it, and everything is censored. Everything in Russia is censored, so we don't even know how Russians truly feel, But I personally don't think that that they're going to allow Prigozhin to live very long. I mean, if he stays in Belarus, they're definitely going to try to take him out eventually, because as long as he's alive, he's a threat to Putin. And they would definitely try to take out a lot of the Wagner commanders, like the senior leaders of Wagner, like the lieutenants and those types of guys. I'm sure Russia's gonna try to take them out. PFC Lumi says, historical times we live in. Kinkoi, I hope you're doing well. What's going on, Vision Preparedness? Earth Angel Anna says, at this point, I think anything is possible. I would agree with you on that. Lorna says, I emailed you. Okay, I'm going to check out your email. I'm going to check that out, see what you say here, what this says here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I personally don't. I'm not 100% convinced that this is the reason why Prigozhin just decided to back down. So what we know is that this was planned for months. At least like 8 months is what the word on the street is, that this was planned for like 8 months. So if he was planning this for 8 months, I'm sure he would think about what to do about his family, so his family doesn't get affected. I'm sure he would think about that, because I believe Prigozhin has like 2 daughters. or something. I know he's got like a daughter. I think he has like 2 or 3 kids. So I'm sure he would have thought about that, you know. So yeah, I don't think that's the case. I'm just reading what this article says. I'm not sure I really believe this or not. Um, so yeah, we haven't seen anything from Prigozhin. I'm checking his Telegram now, and I don't see that Prigozhin posted anything. That he hasn't posted anything since that final voice message he posted. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. He the voice message yesterday afternoon, and that was it. Yeah, we haven't heard anything from him since. So we'll have to wait and see. But definitely Putin looks very weak now, and Prigozhin has sparked. He planted a seed. Prigozhin, he planted a seed in the hearts of Russians. And the seed is that you can rise up and you're not going to be challenged much. As you saw, Prigozhin walked all the way across Russia into Voronezh, and unopposed. So, he planted a seed, and so that's pretty significant. And he showed that the Russian army and Putin are not what people think they are. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens next. Like I said, I don't think this is it for Prigozhin. I think he's got some other plans. I think this was probably a tactical retreat, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. We'll see. What if Prigozhin goes after Moscow after Ukraine starts their counterattack? That would be a great time for him to do that. Because the Russian army was going to be preoccupied with that, so it would be a lot easier for him. So trying to see if there's any other news here. See what else is going on. I'm going to try to pull up those new emergency action messages that just came in. Let's try to pull these messages up here. And yeah, so we also had those really long emergency action messages today, which is very unusual to say the least. So, there was another long message this evening. There was a 216 character message this evening after those 4 246 character messages. So something is going on. We're going to have to wait and see. But there was another, let's see, I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. Let's see here. So these are all the emergency action messages, and after I left, there were a few of these 216 character messages. You see this one here? This is extremely unusual. Okay, a 216 character message is very unusual. And then there were some other shorter ones. Like this is a normal message. This one here, like 30 characters, 40 characters, 20 characters, that's normal. But 216 characters is very strange. And it looks like, let's see, they were broadcasted like 20 minutes apart. So there were two 216 character messages that were broadcasted when I was away. So definitely something is going on. What that is, I'm not too sure. But something is going on. And Biden had that phone call with Zelensky. So, something's going on. I don't know what, but we'll have to wait and see. Looks like that E6, I just lost that E6. It probably might have lost reception going over Nevada. Sometimes they lose the reception here, and you can't track them because it's very secluded. There's no tracking stations here, so that it might reappear once it gets to California. Yeah, it's a very serious situation with this nuclear plant. Very serious. Greg, do you think Russia will blow up the plant? I hope they don't. I really hope they don't. That would be very bad. That would be catastrophic. That would be very bad if they did that. I hope they don't. But anything is possible. I think that either they're going to blow it or they're going to use nuclear weapons or something. Russia has to do something now because Russia has to do something now because they're struggling. Okay, they couldn't even deal with Wagner. They couldn't deal with Wagner. How are they going to deal with a Ukrainian counterattack? Okay, so it's back. The E6 is back. How are they going to deal with a Ukrainian counterattack if they couldn't even deal with Wagner? A bunch of mercenaries. I mean, come on. They're going to get their butts kicked. When Ukraine launches the main effort, they're going to get their butts kicked. And so at this point, Putin's only option is some kind of drastic action, unless he just accepts defeat and signs some kind of a deal. But at this point, there's no way he could make a deal because he doesn't have any leverage. He lost all his leverage because his army got decimated, So he doesn't have that leverage anymore. Like in the beginning of the war, he had a lot of leverage. And maybe at the beginning of the war, he should have made a deal, but he was too greedy. And he thought that, I'm gonna take all of Ukraine, or I'm gonna go all the way to the Dnieper River, and I'm gonna, he had these very ambitious goals that were not realistic. And maybe the smart thing to have done would, and I'm not supporting Putin or anything, but if I was his advisor, I would have told him after the second or third month of the war, I would have said, now is the time to make a deal. And I would have made a deal, and that would have been it. But now he has no leverage because his army is decimated, and he knows that. He knows he doesn't have the leverage anymore. That's why he doesn't want to do a deal, in my opinion. He doesn't want to do a deal because he knows he doesn't have any leverage because his military has been gutted, So at this point, Putin is going to have to do something drastic if he wants to maintain the status quo or whatever. He's going to have to do something drastic. So, I mean, targeting that nuclear power plant would make a lot of sense, because that would completely, render that whole area, uninhabitable, and it would deny access to that entire part of Ukraine, So what's going on, Maddie Grace? Great to see you. Angela Dunn says the next loaf of bread will be costing $1,000 if Russia blows that nuke plant. Yeah, if that nuke plant gets blown, that would be catastrophic. I mean, and our senators there, you have to understand, Lindsey Graham, Blumenthal, these guys they're senior senators, they are in the know. They are like Blumenthal, he's on the Armed Services Committee. He gets classified briefings on the military. So he knows what's going on. Same thing with Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, he knows the counterattack plan. He knows. He went to Ukraine like was it a month ago or 2 months ago? he actually went to Ukraine, and Ukraine shared all of the counterattack details. So he knows all the details on the counterattack. So these guys, they know what's going on. And for them to go on public TV and say these things and say that they want to have a resolution about Article 5, it means that they're seriously concerned about it. And Biden also said that they're concerned about tactical nuclear weapons being used. So they have some intelligence. They don't operate without intelligence. I mean, they could. I mean, if you want to go down the conspiracy theory side of things, of course they could do anything, but they must have some kind of information. Uh, So we have some breaking news coming in. Apparently, Russian sources are stating that the Russian Minister of Defense is currently under a form of house arrest by the FSB pending an investigation into his leadership within the Ministry of Defense and the theft of military funding. Sources believe that major announcements regarding the changes in the command of the Russian armed forces are expected sometime today or this week. So that is pretty interesting. That's pretty crazy. That just came in now. Thank you, Bradley, for sharing that with me. Thank you very much. That's crazy. So yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen with Prigozhin and all this stuff. I don't think that this is the end. I mean, I think I think that there's a lot more to come here. So we're also getting some unconfirmed reports that the Ukrainians are crossing or have crossed the Dnieper River when all this stuff was going on. So yeah, the U.S. is still confused about why Prigozhin halted his. The U.S. is still confused about why Prigozhin, halted his march to Moscow. People are still confused about that. The U.S. doesn't know why, because they said that he was in a dominant position. So that's kind of strange. Yeah, a lot of people are now sharing my video. I see Igor Sushko shared is saying he's also saying about the nuclear attack on Ukraine. Sushko. See, I'm just looking up some information here. We got this video here of saying goodbye. Yeah, Prigozhin is a rock star now. He's a rock star. Um, they people in Russia were celebrating. I mean, he did the unthinkable. He did what no man has ever done, and that's go up against Putin directly. And I mean, nobody's ever done that before. So he's the first. Nobody's done what Prigozhin has done. Let's be honest. I mean, no military, no person has ever come against Putin like that before. So it's pretty impressive, in my opinion, regardless of who he is, his background and all that. It's pretty impressive what he did. Um, you know, and it changed the world, in my opinion. What he did changed the world. You know, he made a huge impact with what he did. Let me see. I got this video here. Let me share this video with you guys. Okay. Let me see here. So this is Prigozhin here saying goodbye. Let me see if I can make it bigger. People were literally taking pictures with him, you know. I mean, you could see he likes the attention, you know. I think he would easily be able to beat Putin if Russia had fair elections. I think he would probably get 60% of the vote in Russia. You could see that people like him in Russia. You can just see it. I mean, he just has that charisma, you know. So, you know, he has people respect him, you know. People respect him, unlike Putin. Nobody respects Putin. You know, people just listen to Putin because they have to, not because they necessarily like him or something, that he's like this great guy, you know. They respect him because they have to, because if they don't worship him, they go to jail, you know. So um oh, there was just a commercial. This is all staged. Could be staged, yeah, it's possible. I try not to let things get to me too much. I just go about my day and take care of my garden. I watch NYPrepper, and I like to keep up on what's happening. If SHTF here, then I will freak. Yeah, it would suck if there was SHTF for sure. Prigozhin being 100 kilometers from Ukraine, we need to find out about that. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about that. That's at this point, I don't have any solid sources about that, so that's just kind of rumors, I think. So I would caution about that. I know a lot of channels were saying that. Here's Prigozhin shaking someone's hand. A lot of channels were saying that this is all planned and that they're going to go after Kyiv now. I don't believe that. That's just my opinion. I mean, it might not happen that way. I could be wrong, but I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that, but anything is possible. Um, you know, we'll have to see. We'll have to see, but there's no solid information right now. That's just rumors. So, you know, we'll see. We'll find out soon. Um, we have some breaking news. Apparently, there's hostile tactical aviation in the Sea of Azov right now. Tactical aviation, that means, I'm guessing that means like fighter jets. So there could be like fighter jets in the Sea of Azov. Maybe Russia's going to launch strikes from fighter jets now. I don't know. Um, there's a big threat of caliber cruise missiles being launched at Ukraine. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But there's a huge threat of that. Let me see what else. What else do I have? Trying to see if there's any other breaking news here. Just going through some of my sources. We have the head of Russia's State Duma Defense Committee said there's no reason to ban the Wagner Group. So the head of the Defense Committee of Russia's parliament said there's no reason to ban Wagner. Anthony Blinken said that it's still a moving picture, and I doubt we've seen the last act. That's what Anthony Blinken said about the Wagner Group and the coup. He said it's still a moving picture, and I doubt we've seen the last act. I would agree with him on that. Yeah, it's not over by any means. This was just a tactical retreat. We know Prigozhin is a smart guy. I mean, he's not stupid, He may be like a warlord or whatever, but he's not stupid. So he definitely has something planned. TM Cole says I check multiple channels to get a well-rounded perspective. That's a good idea. It's a very good idea. What's going on, Off-Grid Desert Farming? I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good weekend. Someone's saying bad air quality in Vermont. Is that because of the wildfire smoke? I was just outside earlier, and I had like this weird feeling in my eyes. I think it could be the wildfire smoke possibly coming back again. Yeah, looks like the Maine Department of Environmental Protection is saying particle pollution from smoke is supposed to rise to unhealthy levels for sensitive groups today. So it looks like northern New England is going to be getting hit with some smoke. So, if you're in northern New England, just keep that in mind. It's just really strange, though, how quiet everything is here. There's only just this one plane in the sky right now, this E6. Looks like it's about to land at Travis Air Base, potentially. Looks like it's about to land, but very unusually quiet right now. Canadian wildfires are back. Yeah, I think they are, because I was outside earlier and I came inside and my eyes were burning a little bit. Not bad, but they had like an uncomfortable feeling, kind of like allergies. Eli's mama says, I'm in Massachusetts and my eyes have been bothering me bad. Yeah, it's probably from the smoke. It's probably from the smoke. Hey, K. Paul, crap is okay. Crap is not a curse word. It's fine. If somebody writes crap, that's okay. But if they write the F word, the S word is okay occasionally, but no F words. But crap is okay. Thanks for moderating, though. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm very concerned about something happening. I'm very concerned. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, we can all speculate what's going to happen, but we're just going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see, because anything is possible at this point. Maybe they are going to make a surprise move on Kyiv. I don't know. It's possible. I hope not. That would be bad, but it's possible for sure. This is an interesting video. It shows the Ukrainians right outside of Crimea. Somehow they're monitoring Russian ships. Let me share this with you guys. This is pretty interesting. We also had Alexander Syrsky. Syrsky's the general in Ukraine, the guy who was the architect of the first major counterstrike or counterattack when they took back Kherson City and they took back Kharkiv. He was responsible for that mission, and he's now saying that the main effort of the counterattack didn't start yet. That's what he's saying, Alexander Syrsky. So we're gonna have to wait and see how things play out. Here's this video that shows Ukrainian forces. It looks like they might be right outside the Black Sea Fleet somewhere, monitoring Russian warships here in the Black Sea. You can see there's land over here, so they're probably right outside. Then maybe they have some kind of like Zodiac boats or something like that, like one of those rigid inflatables. But that's pretty insane. The Black Sea Fleet is definitely a target for the counterattack. I'm sure the Ukrainians are going to want to try to take it back or destroy the warships. I wouldn't surprise me if they try to go in there and at least blow them up so they can't do any more of those the missile strikes. This is pretty interesting here. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken says that the chaos caused by the rebellion of the Wagner leader Prigozhin could continue for several more weeks or months. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Let me share this with you guys. It's pretty crazy. They must know something that we don't. Pretty interesting there. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said that the chaos caused by the rebellion of Wagner leader Prigozhin could continue for several more weeks or months. According to him, the tension in the Russian Federation has been growing for several months, and the effectiveness of the Russian military in Ukraine could be jeopardized. we know Putin has a lot to answer for in the weeks and months ahead. So maybe they know something, maybe they have some information. Nikki G says, I came out here to be away from the city, and with my laser business, people can't complain about the burning wood smell. Yeah, Southern Hemisphere is winter right now. That's correct. Northern Hemisphere is summer. Yep. That's right. 30 minutes outside of Albuquerque. Interesting. I've never been to New Mexico before. I've heard New Mexico's beautiful state, that it's very scenic, very pretty. Nice scenic views and everything. Yeah, it looks like the wildfire smoke is back. Sucks. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. So I think that's the latest information that I have, guys. I don't think I have anything else really. So I thought that there would be some more news tonight, but for now I don't have anything. So I may actually shut down the stream early tonight and call it a night. Would it, because I don't have anything else really going on. It's pretty quiet right now. Let me just see. Let me just see what other kind of military planes are out there. It's unusually quiet with the military planes. Still not many flights in the air. Still pretty quiet. Not much going on. I mean, Europe is very quiet. Look, there's nothing in Europe. I really don't believe this. This is BS. There's definitely some planes here. It's just they have their transponders off. I'm almost certain about that. Look at this. There's no. How could there be no planes at all over Europe? No fighter jets, no recon planes, no cargo planes. I mean, I don't believe that whatsoever. They definitely, they definitely are flying with their transponders off. Yeah, Powerful Prep says get everything squared away now before the panic. Yeah, that's excellent advice. Excellent advice. Yeah, it's very suspicious that there's not a single plane over Europe. It's just really bizarre. I just don't believe it. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense at all. I'm not sure what to think. Yeah, I think that they turned it off. I think they turned their transponders off for sure. 100%. They turned them off. Angela says, Greg, something is going down very soon. Nothing makes sense. Means something huge is going to happen anytime now. Yeah, I think what huge is what's going to happen is that there's going to be a massive counterattack soon, and then potentially all hell may break loose after that. Good night, Scott. Thanks for tuning in, and great to have you in here. It was great to have you. Yeah, there is an E6 in California, but it's about to land. So, and then we had that E6 in the air earlier. And there was all these emergency action messages. Like I said in my update earlier, we had a slew of emergency action messages, and then there was the E6 in the air at the same time. And then now everything is quiet, so I don't know what that means exactly. Um, I don't know. Something is brewing. There's no doubt about it. Something is brewing, and this whole coup attempt is really strange. I mean, just looking at it from the big picture, you have a coup attempt, you have this talk about the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. I mean, there's just a lot of things going on now. So I think any day we're going to see some kind of major event, even bigger than the coup attempt. I think something even bigger than that is coming very soon. So, just make sure you guys are getting yourselves prepared, as best as possible. Um, you know, just simple preparations is all you really need. Kate Paul says, does anyone know when they couldn't draw water from the reservoir for the ZNPP? I thought it was the 12th. You mean like when it dries up and they can no longer pull water out? Yeah, that might be right. Um, I thought that the UN said that they have like a few months, but I don't believe that. I mean, I just don't believe that they have a few months before that water drains out. It just doesn't seem right. They keep distracting us with so much at the same time. Yeah, that's such a good point. They are distracting us with so much at once. Um, Kinkoi says, I agree, Greg. Something is up. Yeah, something's definitely up. Let's see. Someone was talking trash about me here. Uh, DRW says, I haven't noticed the smoke in Eastern PA. I didn't notice anything when I was outside. It's just that when I was done coming inside, when I came inside, when I was done cutting the grass, my eyes were like very slightly watery, like a lid. They had like a very slight burning feeling, like very slight. So it could be like a very minimal amount. There's a Lockheed P3 in Poland. Interesting. Let me check. Oh yeah, something just we have some flights now that popped up here, but it's what do we have here? We have let me see. I mean, we don't really have anything any big planes or any kind of sub hunters. Well, we do have a C-17 heading in. So that's coming from New Hampshire. That's interesting, but that's not too unusual. One C-17 it's not a really anything crazy. There's a C-17 that's leaving Germany now or Luxembourg. Not really anything too dramatic there. We have a Czech Air Force plane here. I mean, it's pretty quiet. Let me see about that P3. I don't see a P3 on this scanner here. Yeah, and all the planes in DC were grounded today. All the planes in DC were grounded. They said because of I forget the reason why, but that seems kind of suspicious too. Um, so So I think I'm going to actually wind down the live stream. It's been a crazy weekend, and I think I need some rest, and I'm sure you guys do too. So I think I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it off now. If anything breaks, I'll definitely restart the stream, and I'll obviously update you guys if anything crazy happens. But it's just been an absolutely insane weekend. And I think it's honestly, I think it's going to be even more insane in the coming days and weeks. So we're definitely going to have more times like this coming soon. Kinkoy says, good night, Greg. Good night, Powerful Preps. Nikki G says, take a rest. I have to work all night. I will be watching. Thank you, Greg. Timothy Bibb says, thank you for all the information. Rodney says, good idea. Go have a good sleep. Angela Dunn, thanks to all the moderators over the weekend. It was absolutely insane. Thank you guys for your coverage. I really appreciate it. I mean, it made a huge difference keeping the trolls down. So thank you, all you guys. Angela, especially Angela, and Lorna, K. Paul, thank you guys. So Jackie M, have a good night. You're going to work the next 3 nights. Hopefully I'll catch you at night. Sounds good. Yeah. Do what you got to do. But I think SHTF is coming. So, I think we're going to have something big happening soon. So just get prepared. So have a good night, guys, and take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.